Hello and welcome to Tale on the Air. I'm Sean, the Fox in the Fedora, and we're here for another fun-filled, thrill-filled game of Champions RPG. For those of you who don't know, Champions is kind of like Dungeons & Dragons, only with superheroes, similar to the characters you'd find in Marvel or DC Comics. Now, instead of going by the traditional and very complicated RPG rules, yeah, I know there'll be those of you out there who'll be like, hey, they're not that complicated or whatnot, but just for our audience sakes and our contestants' sake, and especially my sake, I've extremely simplified the rules, which I'll get into in a bit. But hey, RPGs are what you make of them. Now then, on to the game. As it was explained in the new intro of the series, I will be known as Director Fox, and I will send various contestants, aka other heroes, on missions to save the world, or something along those lines. The rules for this RPG have been simplified to dice rolls and improv. Now there is a set ending that the contestants are trying to get to, and I will help steer them to that ending, but the rest of the game is a combination of their imagination and mine. As the game master, I can accept or reject a path they want to take or an idea they have, but one way or another, the contestants/heroes have to abide by the dice. For the contestants, if they roll an odd number, they fail. An even number, they succeed. Our contestants each have 3 lives and 4 hit points per life. The hit points cannot be taken away if they, example, miss a bus they had to get on or something. The hit points can be taken away if the bus is dropped on top of them. Lose the 4 hit points, you lose a life. Lose all 3 lives, and you're out of the game. If both contestants lose, the villain wins. Now, without further ado, since all our contestants created their own superheroes for this season, let's hear from the 2 we have on today. Contestant number 1, can you please tell us who you are, the name and origin of your hero, their powers and weaknesses?
Hello, my name is Megan June, otherwise known as Moo. My character is
Mimi Stroud, otherwise known as Little Fluffenator.
Mimi is a 10-year-old girl that lives at home with her estranged parents and piles upon piles of stuffed animals. Growing up, her parents didn't show her very much love, and instead she was left to keep herself company with the many stuffed animals they gave her. Some sort of remorse, I suppose, for not being there for her. Mimi was cheerful nonetheless and didn't mind the neglect. You see, Mimi's power of imagination exceeded most children of her age. When she turned 5, Mimi realized it was not normal to have stuffed animals that moved and talked back to her. At the age of 9, her brother came home one day with bruises. She was curious as to who would do this and tracked the culprits to a group of nasty college kids that beat up and stole valuables from kids walking alone at night. Mimi decided to become the Little Fluffenator that day and to use her powers to help those that were being picked on or in trouble. Her nanny Candace, who Mimi trusts and respects as a mother, knows about her nighttime escapades and chauffeurs her around the city. Powers and abilities. Mimi has the ability to animate inanimate objects. She mostly uses this ability on her many stuffed animals. However, if it's necessary, she has the ability to control larger objects. If the inanimate object has a mouth, it can talk. If it has arms and legs, it has the ability to walk and grab. One time with her older brother's toy tank, she got it to fire tiny missiles, making a rather large mess and an unhappy maid. In short, if Mimi imagines the toy to do it, it happens. Weaknesses. Mimi is really young and doesn't fully understand her powers. She also can't imagine added benefits. For example, she can't give her toy pig wings since it doesn't have them. She can't create matter, only manipulate and animate it. So, she only works off what the objects are designed with. Again, Mimi is a 10-year-old child, and on top of that, sort of spoiled.
Contestant number 2, introduce yourself, your hero, their origin, powers, and weaknesses.
Hi there, this is Zach, also known as Dr. Menace, here to bring you the introduction of Captain Frankman. One day, a comet raised the land to the western skies with the sound of 1,000 pudding cups. There would be one who would see the light and fight the wrong with penguins. Then, on the 6th hour last Tuesday, the man rose from a markless grave. He then gave all the kids ice cream and then became a superhero! This is Captain Frankman! Dressed in a blue-clad suit of sheer awesomeness, a red bow tie to show coolness, and the helmet of signifying justice! Operating on the use of cartoon logic, His main weapon of choice includes a front-hand sword and a backhand sword. Strong enough to lift the moon, fast enough to walk on water, and durable enough to eat a nuclear bomb! And one time, using his cunning intellect, he was able to make a bowl of rice without using rice. But he also has a special ability. He has the capability of transforming into his final form called Super Frankman, which adds a ×10 to his normal abilities. And if all else fails, he can use his most powerful attack being the Superpower Ninja Turbo Neo Ultra Hyper Mega Multi Alpha Meta Extra Uber Prefix Cannon, or Prefix Cannon for you commoners. While all powerful with many of these great abilities, I'm also not very bright. But whenever help is needed, I'm always there to fight evil! Have at thee!
Okay, welcome back, Captain Frankman, and welcome, Little Fluffenator. Alright, so here's your case. A few days ago, Kodiak and Wolf captured an arsonist working for the elusive Dr. Kenyon and his mysterious boss. Aside from a few unanswered questions connected to another incident involving the arsonist, we were able to learn from him that Dr. Kenyon has at least one more loose end to tie up here in Millennium City before disappearing once again. We broadened our search and began going through all the records we have on Kenyon until we discovered an interesting little tidbit. Dr. Amadeus Oldman, a researcher and futurist currently working at Harmon Industries here in Millennium, is actually an old acquaintance of Kenyon's. They attended the University of California together and worked on a fair amount of projects there. Jacks of all trades, so to speak. Based on what we know from other students who were in classes with them, and afterwards, it would seem they went their separate ways sometime after graduation when Kenyon began his criminal career. However, now we're not so sure. Thanks to some investigation, we were able to determine that there have been a few occasions where Kenyon and Oldman have met face to face. One such occasion was right here in the city just last week. Whether or not this means Oldman is somehow involved with Kenyon is yet to be determined. For all we know, Oldman knows nothing of Kenyon's involvement with the Metatron scheme, and they were simply catching up here. What makes this suspicious, however, is the fact that Kenyon went as far as to come out in the open just to meet him. I don't know about you, but I don't know too many on-the-run criminals who just walk out of their hidey hole to have tea and crumpets with their bestest best friend during a manhunt. Which is why we're sending you to Harmon Industries to speak to Oldman about his meeting with Kenyon. You'll have no trouble getting in. James Harmon is one of our benefactors, as well as the man who encouraged me to start this team. In case you didn't know, Mr. Harmon was a superhero called Defender for a number of years before his wife passed away. Afterwards, he settled down to focus specifically on running his conglomerate and funding various superhero teams that have popped up all over the world. Just be sure that you're there at precisely 3 p.m. tomorrow. I'm told Dr. Oldman is extremely busy on a very important project which takes up most of his day. Find out whatever you can about Dr. Kenyon from him, and hopefully we might be able to use that to continue our search before Kenyon's trail goes cold. With that, good luck, and good hunting. You got that?
I'm so ready!
Very well. Really? 10-year-old girl?
I'm sorry, Captain Frankman, but that's all we had left here at the pack. Everybody else is busy.
It is fine. I was able to go on one adventure with that of Lady Maelstrom, who was blind. I could settle having a 10-year-old child with me.
Hey, I'm pretty useful, okay, mister?
Very well, you keep saying that. Now, let us go forth onto adventure!
Okay, so you both arrive at Harmon Industries at precisely 3 p.m. and are greeted by James Harmon himself. He's a man of about 41, but he's clean-cut, clean-shaven, blonde hair. He looks like a businessman, but he also looks like somebody who could, be a superhero, which he once was, as I said.
He must be evil.
Why would you just assume that?
All business people are evil, I should know. My old business associate fired me.
But he used to be a superhero.
That's what they all say.
Okay, anyway, so Mr. Harmon takes you to Dr. Ullman's lab, where you see Dr. Ullman busy on what looks like a strange-looking booth of some sort. Kind of like one of those old photo booths you'd find at, like, a mall or even a carnival or something.
What do you make of this, Little Fluffenator?
I'm not sure. It looks kind of spooky if you ask me.
Think we should try examining it?
Sure.
Okay.
Just as you go over to look at the booth, Dr. Ullman jumps up and tells you to get back. He says it's very dangerous.
I am very dangerous, too.
He wants to know what the heck you're doing here.
We're here to look at the box.
You were told to come here to ask you a few questions, mister.
And look at the box.
That too.
And while he doesn't really want you to see the box, he will answer any questions as long as it has nothing to do with the box.
Very well. Is there any way that we could try directing our attention to the box?
No, it's top secret. Even Mr. Harmon says that's private.
Alright then. You got any questions, Little Fluffenator? I'm out.
If I throw a temper tantrum, will you let us look at it?
Let's roll for that. Rolling for a temper tantrum. And it's a 3. He refuses, no matter how loud you cry.
It seems though the temper tantrum will not be enough. Maybe bribing him for just looking at the box. I bring out a box of chocolates!
Rolling for box of chocolates.
Everyone likes chocolate.
And it's a 16. Sure, he'll let you look at the box for a bunch of chocolate.
Woo! Chocolate!
Haha, joke's on you, those chocolates are expired. Alright, it's a box.
If we push buttons, will it do something?
There's only one logical conclusion. Little Fluffenator, start pushing random buttons.
My pusher!
Alright, pushing random buttons, rolling to see if anything happens. A 9.
What happens?
Nothing. It doesn't turn on.
Oh, that's why it's not plugged in.
Dr. Oldman comes over and asks what the heck you are doing here. He's very busy.
We just gave him some chocolates. Did he forget or something?
He wants to know what kind of questions you had for him.
Alright, let's go ahead and just start asking some questions like, do you have any questions, Little Fluffenator? Because my goal is already achieved. I wanted to look at the box.
Do you know who a Mr. Dr. Kenyon is?
Let's find out. Rolling. It's a 6. He does know that name. In fact, he just had breakfast with him a few days ago.
What did you have for breakfast?
What did he have for breakfast? He had a muffin.
Not gonna roll for that one, eh?
No, he had a muffin.
Very well, I'll believe his story.
Okay. Shall we ask more questions, mister?
That's a good idea. Let's ask him, what were they discussing when they were meeting?
Rolling for that. Oh, it's an 11. He says he was asked to keep it private, only between him and Kenyon.
Oh, come on. I gave you some chocolates. It should be worth giving a few government secrets.
Rolling for seeing if that little argument works. And they're not government secrets, but yeah, okay. 1. Chocolates were only so good, and they were also expired, you jerk.
Alright,
What is this Dr. Kenyon's occupation?
Rolling for that. It's a 13. He hadn't seen his friend in a while, but when they met recently, he told Dr. Oldman that he worked in pharmaceuticals.
good enough for me.
Why did you visit him?
Hold on, let's use some logical deduction.
They're old acquaintances. They met for breakfast, so that means they're still in contact with each other. So maybe you were right. Maybe this guy is evil.
Would you like to ask him any more questions?
I have one last question.
And that is?
Where can I find a good muffin?
Rolling. 13. He's not really sure. He hasn't come across any really good muffins.
You just ate a good muffin this morning!
He didn't eat a good muffin this morning. He just had a muffin. Didn't mean it was good. Suddenly, rolling. A 19. You hear a gunshot.
What was that?
Oh, shot at the gun!
From behind you, you see that somebody from a distance shot a bullet through the window and hit a wall. Huh. You know, if that was an attempted assassination of one of you guys, they are a really bad shot.
Yeah, you're telling me. I mean, what if they're a wall assassin? Then they're good.
Just then, you hear another nearby window shatter and a loud cry of pain. You turn and see that Dr. Ullman has been shot in the arm with an arrow. Suddenly, the figure of a woman dressed in battle gear with a bow and quiver, sunglasses, and war paint all over her arms and face comes swinging through the first window.
It's you! Yes, you. We've known each other for quite some time. You...
Actually, she has no idea who you are.
Okay, cool. I thought we met before.
This is Warpath. She's an assassin, skilled in archery.
I go after her.
Okay, how would you like to go after her?
With two swords ready for combat.
Okay, rolling. It's a 2! You knock the bow and arrow out of her hands.
You have been disarmed.
Good job.
Little Fluffenator, would you like to try anything?
I will help Dr. Oldman with the arrow in his arm.
How?
You could try using your powers to move the arrow out.
I don't know how to animate an arrow.
You can make it go forwards. Make it go through him.
Ow! Captain Frankman, you have the worst ideas. Okay.
I'm Captain Frankman. I'm supposed to be stupid.
Well, Little Fluffenator, what would you like to do?
Protect him from her by animating the box, the mysterious box.
You want to animate the mysterious box?
Yes.
What will it do once it's animated?
It will shoot things out of it at her.
Let's see if that does anything. And it's a 5. It came alive, but it's not shooting anything. Alright, Captain Frankman, what are you gonna do?
Alright, well, she's now disarmed, so there's only one logical conclusion.
Yeah.
Arrest her and take it to the authorities.
Okay, let's see if that works.
It's gonna be an odd number, isn't it?
Actually, it's a 4. You stop her before she can start fighting back and slap the cuffs on her, being sure to restrain her just in case.
Woo!
You're not escaping this time, Warpath.
Alright, so it looks like everything's going fine. James Harmon's called the cops, and you've got one of the world's greatest assassins in record time.
The only thing I have to bring up is this. Either one of two things happen. Either we're really good, or she's not as good as people say she is.
Yeah, I suppose. So you take Warpath out of the room, when suddenly...
Ah, dang it.
Always a suddenly.
That box that you animated, Fluffenator?
Yes?
It knows/remembers your last command, which was to protect Dr. Oldman. Since Warpath has been caught, it doesn't care about her anymore, but it is still determined to protect Oldman by basically eating him.
Oh, well then, Mr. Machine.
Darn it, little Fluffenator.
Well, not eat him per se, but at least grab him with its wiring and pull him inside.
I throw Warpath at the box.
You're gonna throw Warpath at the box.
I throw the handcuffed Warpath at the box.
Wow. Okay.
The box shall be eating something tonight.
Nom 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 nom.
Okay, let's try this. 12, it worked.
Not only did we actually defeat the world's greatest assassin, but we killed her too.
You are a horrible person.
I'm a 10-year-old child.
Actually, Warpath just hit the box. She bounced off. The box is actually angry at you now, Captain Frankman. It thinks that you're the enemy.
But we had so many good moments.
All right, Captain Frankman, what are you gonna do now?
It's obvious. I destroy the box.
You're going to attack the box. Okay.
It's gonna be a 1, isn't it?
It's a 15, Captain Frankman. The box eats you.
Ah, dang it!
No! Is he okay?
I'm not that delicious!
Suddenly, the box starts calculating something, and a date pops up. The date is today's date! In 3 hours from now. Today's date, 3 hours from now. 6 p.m.
I'm still being eaten here.
Then the box spits you out.
That was slightly disgusting.
Fluffenator returns the box to just an inanimate object, and Dr. Oldman, who's being helped up by James Harmon, tells you that it works!
What works?
The box is supposed to eat people?
No, he explains that the box is actually supposed to determine, as crazy as this sounds, a person's date of death through an algorithm created by Oldman that he refers to as the clairvoyant chance principle, an idea that through study of history, public records, and other data, a mathematical equation can be formulated to predict the time and date of death for a person, thus making it almost seem like the machine itself is clairvoyant or can tell the future. His plan for this death-predicting box would be to hopefully prevent certain deaths from happening. For the longest time, the machine hadn't been producing actual dates, just a sequence of numbers. But now, thanks to you two apparently, a date and time has appeared.
So you're saying I'm supposed to die in 3 hours?
What do we do?
It is possible to stop this. The only question is, what or who exactly will be the one to kill you?
There's only one thing we have to do.
Yes?
Make sure that doesn't happen.
Good plan. By the way, Warpath escaped.
But the handcuffs.
She's good. Very good.
Apparently so good that she still got beaten.
Alright, so, looks like you've got double jeopardy now. 1, Captain Frankman could die in 3 hours. And 2, Dr. Oldman still needs to be protected because he knows something.
Alright, so what's our next plan of action?
We tie Dr. Oldman up and we go after her.
We tie him up?
Tie him up, because he's dangerous.
You're right, we're gonna tie up Old Man!
You're gonna tie up the guy I just told you to protect?
Well, if he's tied up, then we know he's gonna stay protected.
Yeah. We're gonna make sure that he follows us by pulling him along.
We'll put him like a little wagon, then we're gonna pull him on that. Like, he'll be tied up on the wagon.
So let me get this straight. You two are going to tie up, kidnap a scientist, and then you're going to pursue his assailant, all the while knowing that you, Captain Frankman, will die.
It's just a typical Tuesday.
Alright, so you can either stay there, or you can take Oldman with you. What do you want to do?
So, do you want to have a picnic here?
Why else do you think I brought this picnic basket?
Woo!
Okay, so you two and the injured Dr. Oldman have a picnic.
What? There's a first aid kit in here.
Okay, so the two of you and Dr. Oldman are now having a picnic at Harmon Industries in a laboratory, waiting for the assassin to come back.
We're doing it next to the harmful chemicals for that nice rustic smell.
This can only lead to good things.
Oh, yes.
Wonderful things.
Okay, so you guys enjoy your picnic. Is it a good picnic?
It's lovely. I made little sandwiches with cucumbers.
Okay, so you sit there having your picnic when suddenly something comes flying through the window. Not a bullet, not an arrow. It's a hat.
No.
Let's put it on.
Don't put it on.
Why not?
Oh, you don't want to put on that hat. I choose to kill the hat.
You want to kill the hat?
Kill the hat mercilessly.
Rolling for destroying the hat. It's an 11. You try to kill the hat, but all of a sudden the hat jumps up with 2 mechanical arms coming out from the top of it, which punches you straight in the face.
Ow!
I decide to animate the hat myself since it has arms.
You're going to animate the hat?
Yes, so it's under my control.
Okay, animating the hat. It's a 5. Didn't work.
Darn it, 10-year-old self.
So, minus 25 for you both.
I stick my teddy on it.
Okay, you're going to attack the hat with your teddy bear. Okay, rolling for that one. It's a 1. The hat manages to punch the teddy bear.
Not the teddy bear!
Not the teddy!
It has gone too far!
So, with the teddy bear defeated, the hat with arms grabs Dr. Oldman and tries to make a break for it.
Oh, no, you don't!
Jeez.
I choose to attack the hat again.
Okay, you're going to... How are you going to attack the hat?
I'm going to attack the arms to set the doctor free.
Okay, attacking the arms. Here we go. It's a 15.
Did I miss?
You missed.
I animate the rope that's around Dr. Oldman to wrap around the hat.
Okay, going for that. Last chance. If you don't get this, Dr. Oldman is gone. Oh, dang, a 5.
Ow.
And the hat escapes with Dr. Oldman.
Deal, there's only one thing we can do. Give chase!
How are you going to chase it?
Easy. First, I'll throw the little Fluffenator into the sky, then she'll animate a bird to allow her to fly.
Sounds like a plan!
Okay, if that's what you want to do.
Mechanical bird!
Captain Frankman, I don't think you thought this through.
No, okay, here's a better one. I'll throw her into the air, then throw a paper airplane in the air, and then she'll animate the paper airplane, allowing it to fly better.
You know what? Just because. Let's roll for that.
Yes!
Rolling. You're an idiot. It's a 9. You tossed her up, but the airplane didn't reach.
Little Fluffenator, you're on your own. Animate something.
I animate a magic carpet.
You gonna animate it? Okay, then. Let's try that.
It's convenient that there's a welcome mat in this room.
Very convenient.
Instead, Captain Frankman is going to throw a carpet that just happened to be in the lab. Okay, here we go. You're a terrible throw. A 3.
My mom thinks I'm a good throw.
She's going to fall to her death. You gotta do something, Captain Frankman.
Well, I'm dying in 3 hours, okay?
That doesn't justify it.
Okay, I'm gonna try throwing the carpet again.
Throw on the carpet one more time. Here we go. Ah, thank God, it's a 14.
Haha! You have a magic carpet now.
Lee, do you want to join me?
Nah, it's okay. I'll just use my motorcycle I have here. No, better yet, you know, screw it. I'm gonna take Old Man's car.
Because she's teamed with Captain Frankman, the Little Fluffenator was able to make a magic carpet, and meantime, Captain Frankman just decided to take Oldman's car in order to give chase to rescue Dr. Oldman. Okay, anyway, so you guys are chasing after the hat now, who has Dr. Oldman, and it looks like the hat is headed towards the West Side Docks.
The docks.
It's always the docks.
In particular, a ship.
It's like they migrate there.
Right, good job. The hat takes Dr. Oldman to a cargo ship. Alright, so you both arrive at the ship, and now what are you gonna do? You're on the dock, and there's a plank going up to the ship.
We go incognito.
Alright, we choose to don our greatest disguises ever.
And what would those be?
Good question. What are you gonna disguise yourself as, Little Fluffenator?
I was gonna just go in as a giant bear, but that'd probably be a bad idea, so maybe just a box.
Fair enough. You disguise yourself as a cardboard box. I'll disguise myself as an old ship captain who has sailed across the 7 seas for many ages and also lost a leg.
Okay, then you can just carry me in.
Alright, sounds good. I could just pretend you're like a heavy crate or something.
Yes!
Well, I've heard worse, so you don those disguises
That I just happen to have with me.
and head on board the ship. Of course, the ship is crowded with rough-looking bad guys.
Oh, you're trying to mess with me? I lost this leg back in the war.
Rolling. It's a 4. He believes it.
Hey, I lost this leg back in the war. You don't want to see what I did to the other guy.
Alright, so now what are you gonna do now that you're on the ship?
Ask some questions.
Alright, thank you, Box. I'm gonna go ask some questions. Alright, I choose to talk to that goon over there by the rear of the ship.
Okay, so you go on over, and what are you gonna ask him?
Alright. I was wondering where I could try meeting the captain. I have an important package to deliver to him.
Oh, okay, let's roll. It's a 7. He's not sure where the captain is at the moment.
Ask him if he's seen a hat.
Oh, good idea. I know this is gonna be a little bit of a hypothetical question, but do you know where I could find a giant mechanical hat on this boat?
Rolling. 11. He hasn't seen a giant mechanical hat. He saw a small one, though, carrying an old dude.
Could you tell us where he's heading to? Apparently the boss wants me there.
Rolling. 5. He's not sure where it went.
No worries, we'll ask someone else. Alright, choose to ask another goon that same question.
Okay, asking another goon the question.
I swear if I have to go through like 20 goons.
That'd be hilarious. But no, you're good. It's a 12.
Alright, so where's the location?
The guy tells you that it's below deck, about down in the cargo hold.
Perfect, you have a box.
Seems oddly convenient. Very well. We choose to head down to the cargo hold down the staircase.
Alright, so you head on down, and you enter down into the cargo hold, where you see Dr. Oldman is tied up. In the room, along with Dr. Oldman, are several goons, Warpath, and the mastermind behind this, Hat Man, who escaped prison last week.
Hat man.
Oh, do not mess with Hat Man. Hat Man is dangerous.
As you stand there, you hear Hat Man interrogating Oldman. He too wants to know where Dr. Kenyon is, and heard through the grapevine about Kenyon's recent meeting with Oldman. Apparently, Kenyon and his mysterious boss took Hat Man's share of the stolen loot from their crimes involving the Metatron-induced bank presidents some weeks back. So he got in touch with Warpath, hired her to break him out of prison with the money he had left stashed, and then sent her after Oldman. As it turns out, her orders were not to kill him, but to incapacitate him and capture.
Alright, we choose to get a little closer to listen to more information. We're a little too far away.
Okay, so rolling to get closer. Uh-oh, 17. Little Fluffenator sneezes.
Sorry, I sneezed like a girl. I think they bought it.
Actually, they think it came from your box.
Have you ever met a sneezing box before? You just shake it and it sneezes.
I'm a pig. Oink, oink.
Stop a sneezing box. You're supposed to be a sneezing box now, not a pig box.
Excuse me, why do you have a, pig in a box? One sailor asks.
Well, the better question is, why don't you have a pig in a box? Don't you know what I did back in the war? The other guy lost his left eye, his right arm, and his third left elbow.
And rolling once more. It's a 6. The goons down there are like, whoa, back off. This guy means business.
Oh yeah, now scoot aside, I'm taking the front seat.
Alright, so you get closer as you listen to Hat Man interrogating Oldman. Oldman keeps claiming, despite Warpath basically beating him up, that he does not know where Kenyon is. In fact, they really just met to catch up.
We choose to continue in listening to the interrogation.
Okay, rolling for that real quick. 11. Your beard falls off.
Oh, did I ever tell you that my beard was reattachable? It was also part of what happened in the war.
Hat Man turns and recognizes you.
You know what, screw it, taking off the disguises.
I pop out of the box.
So now you are surrounded by a bunch of goons, Hat Man and Warpath. Hat Man and Warpath grab Oldman as Hat Man instructs the goons to destroy you both.
Alright, I choose to transform into Super Frankman, so I can take down all of the goons.
Transforming, let's see if that works. 17, one socks you in the face, minus 25.
I decide to animate all the objects in the room so that it's a distraction and we can take Mr. Oldman out of here.
Animating all objects in the room, here we go. It's a 9. It did work, but because you animated all the objects in the room, and it's such a fairly small space, it's become a cluster of chaos now.
Considering we caused chaos and the goons are kind of dealing with the chaos now, we're gonna chase after Hatman and the assassin.
If you can get through the cluster, here we go. Rolling for Captain Frankman first. He got through an 18.
Haha!
Now rolling for Little Fluffenator. It's a 4. She got through too.
Woo!
So all the goons are being basically clobbered by living boxes.
Yeah!
Just like that they were meant to be.
And you both give chase after Hatman and Warpath up the stairs to the top of the ship.
Alright, looks like they're in the captain's quarters.
Alright, so there's a door there, captain's quarters door, but it's closed. What are you gonna do?
Try to open it?
And I'm guessing that there's no other way. It's either through this door or nothing.
Okay, through the door. Oh, and by the way, I should mention now, it is approximately 5:58.
Why do I feel as though that if I just get an odd number, I'm gonna die?
Now, here's how this is gonna work. If you survive the upcoming ambush past 6 p.m., you will have beaten fate. Basically. If you don't, you automatically lose all 3 lives in this, what I call, the special instance. You will be able to return for future episodes, but in this case, you could lose everything right here and now for this episode.
So it's an all or nothing then.
Will you die a hero, mister?
Die hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain, then realize that you're just gonna fall to your death. You know what? I'm a hero. I've been raised and born to fight. So, I'm gonna charge up to Super Frankman and go down in a flash.
Alright, charging up. It didn't work.
I try again.
Once more. Okay, it worked that time. Must have been a stall out or something. You got a 14.
Woo!
Oh no, yeah, it kind of just happens like it just goes. Ah!
Alright, so now you're Super Frankman. What are you gonna do?
Alright, now that I'm ready, we're gonna go and take down Hatman.
How? What are you gonna do?
We're gonna break that door down.
Okay, breaking the door down, and... Yeah, it's a 6. Why did I even have to roll for that? You're Super Frankman. The door goes down, and right in front of you, as you break it down, is Warpath with an arrow ready, right in front of your face.
Think an arrow's gonna stop Super Frankman?
It's 6 o'clock. Rolling. It's a 10!
Woo!
The arrow bounces right off you.
Oh gosh, I would've died. Looks like I'm gonna live. Time to take these guys down.
Alright, so Warpath is not giving up so easily. She fires more arrows, this time at Little Fluffenator.
I animate the arrows to go to her.
Okay, animating. It's a 2!
Woo!
Instead of piercing skin, the arrows merely come back at her and attach her to a wall, knocking her out in the process.
Wow, all I gotta say is terrible assassin. Like seriously, I beat her very easily, handcuffed her, and threw her in a box, now gets beaten by her own arrows by a 10-year-old girl? Wow. you need to get better at this. I mean, I feel kind of bad for you. I mean, like, this is like, I should give you a cupcake kind of levels.
Now for Hatman.
Alright.
But he's not here.
Let's see, knowing Hatman, there's only one location that he would be in.
Hat store?
No, that'd be too obvious. Plus, I don't think there's a hat store on the boat.
So where is he?
The navigation room.
The navigation room. Okay, let's go check the navigation room. Is he in the navigation room? 19. He's not there.
Crap. To the bathroom.
Really? Okay.
I'm not going in the men's room.
Okay, checking. Oh, hey, he was in the broom closet in the bathroom.
Yeah, I was looking for him.
Looks like you'll have to handle him by yourself.
Okay, me and Hatman decide that we're not gonna fight inside the bathroom. We're gonna move this to, like, outside to the deck.
Once you get out onto the deck with Dr. Oldman, also still captive by Hatman, Hatman reveals a brand new weapon.
It's a hat, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a hat, and he's very sad that you guessed that. But, do you know what the hat does?
It does evil things.
It shoots lasers.
She got it right. It's a laser cannon.
Whoa. Wow, it's kind of sad that we kind of guessed it right.
And it's firing right at you, Captain Frankman.
Alright, I choose to deflect the laser with a slap.
Okay, let's do that. Nope, it's a little bit more powerful than you expected. It blasts you right off the ship.
Hey!
Okay, Little Fluffenator, he's going to fire the hat at you now.
I am going to animate the captain's cabin to fall on the laser hat.
Wouldn't it make more sense to animate the boat?
I'm gonna animate the boat to, like, rock. Yes.
Okay. It's a 6. The boat begins rocking and Hatman misses you.
Yay!
Don't rock the boat!
Captain Frankman, get out of the water and come help fight.
Okay, I jump out of the water and get back in the boat.
Alright, Hatman's not done yet. He's gonna fire at you again.
Alright, I choose to dodge and then charge right for him.
Okay, dodging. Here we go. It's a 19.
Ah, darn it!
He blasts you off the boat again. And with that, you lost your first life and are back in the water.
I call my nanny Candace to bring me all of my toys to have them attack him.
Wow, okay, that's some nanny. Alright, here we go. And it's a 1. You're getting static in the communication device. So, Hatman blasts you this time.
You're gonna attack a 10-year-old?
Roll for guilt.
Roll for guilt. That's interesting. Okay.
Roll for guilt. Roll for guilt.
Rolling for guilt. Since I rolled for Hatman, he's definitely guilty. It's a 4. He refuses to attack.
Yay! Cuteness win!
Kick him in the shins! Kick him in the shins!
I kick him in the shins.
Okay, rolling for kicking in the shins. An 18! You kick him in the shins!
That's for Mr. Teddy!
Alright, I think that sets Old Man free.
No, you still have to defeat Hatman. Captain Frankman, get out of the water and help.
I've been out of the water. I'm literally standing here now just saying kick him in the shins.
Oh, okay, well now you gotta do something.
I punch him.
Okay, going for punch. And it's a 12! You punch him and he goes into the water.
Shoryuken!
You go to see if Hatman's okay, but he doesn't surface.
Darn it, I killed him!
You dive into the water, but you can't find him. Is Hatman dead? Did his body get swept out to sea? Or did he escape? You get back onto the boat, untie Oldman, and of course, he is grateful. He explains that he had no idea that his friend was deeper into crime than he was when they last saw each other, but was deceived by his friend into believing that he had gone straight. Sadly, he cannot help us find where Kenyon has gone, as Kenyon did not tell him. In terms of the short meetup they had, Kenyon only wanted a copy of an old invention the two of them were working on back in college. It's an artificial intelligence. The same artificial intelligence that was used to figure out the algorithm in Oldman's death-predicting box. The AI was called Anon, after a philosopher who was said to have lived hundreds of years ago. Oldman has no idea why Kenyon wanted the schematics for the AI all of a sudden, as he didn't go into explanation. So... why would Kenyon want or need an artificial intelligence? But it's not much to go on one way or another. In fact, I think it's safe to say the trail's gone cold. We've lost Dr. Kenyon, and our only real lead to the Metatron mastermind. However, now it turns out we have bigger problems. Look up into the sky, please.
There's a cloud. You see a bird.
And a giant mothership.
And a giant mother. What?
Game set.
Roll dice, see what happens.
No, now we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the points here. Yes, it looks as if the Little Fluffenator has won this round.
Yeah.
Thanks in part to guilt. Okay, so with that, we end this episode, and next time we'll find out what the deal is with that mothership in the sky. Until then, bye! Thank you for watching Tale in the Air. The characters and world of the Champions RPG are owned by their respective owners. The characters created by our contestants are owned solely by the contestants. The Fox and the Fedora, Tale in the Air, and Director Fox are all owned by Sean Basinger, No Sense Entertainment, and Z Media Productions. All rights reserved. Also on a special note, and just to let you guys know, I'm going to be co-producing a documentary for a film festival coming up in May of 2016. Unlike my previous projects here on YouTube, however, this project is going to require some funding in order to make it look the best it can. So, my partner and I have started a GoFundMe. If you can, please help us out by donating any amount. It will be greatly appreciated, and all those who donate will receive a credit in the end credits. Just let us know how you want to be credited by leaving us a message here on this video, the next video, or however you'd like. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.